DidikTV-KPM. Where should we go for a school trip? Maybe we should go to a castle. It's so majestic, it's so big. It's so far away, the journey will take hours. Maybe we could go to a zoo. We can see those tall giraffes and the orangutans and all the other fantastic animals. Oh, but it's so hot and humid. I don't want to be sweaty all day. Maybe we could go to a cave. A cave. At least it's indoors, it's cooling, and there's some other type of creatures we can see in the cave. But it couldn't be too dark, and there's bats and there's other iggy stuff. Or maybe we could go to a bird park. A bird park would be fantastic. I love birds. They're so kind and so tame. But the thing is that also fun, or will that be boring? Maybe I should ask Mr. Mohana. Maybe he can give us an idea of where should we go for our school trip. Where is he? Mr. Mohana? Aha! Mr. Mohana, over here! Hello everyone, you are now watching slot Menengah Atas or Upper Form on DidikTV KPM together with me, Sean Steven, as your host. And as you saw earlier, well, in the teacher's profile, we have Mr. Mohana. Hi, Mr. Mohana, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
I am super excited to find out what we'll be learning today. But before that, I'd also like to introduce our sign language interpreter of the lesson, which is Teacher Lina. Hi, teacher, how are you? Thank you for joining us today. All right, not only do we have our sign language interpreter, as well as the both of us, we also have our pupils who are joining us today. Let's see who they are. Hi, everyone. There we go, our 4 bright and happy faces, also excited to join us today. Mr. Mohana, could you kindly introduce them to all of our viewers today?
All right, so Shani, say hi. Lishrina. Janani. And also, I have Alia here. These are the 4 beautiful girls from SMK Perempuan Methodist Ipoh who will be with us today for our lesson.
All right. And before we continue, can you give me a thumbs up if you are ready for our lesson? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Big thumbs up. There we go. All right. Now, speaking about our lesson today, what are we learning today? Or what is our lesson about?
Okay, today's lesson, we are going to look at the English language from 4, Unit 7, Mother Nature, Lesson 85. And it is based on the Full Blast English Language textbook, page 102.
All right.
All right. And the learning standard for today's lesson will be that we'll be looking at the main skill, which is speaking, using formal and informal registers appropriately in most familiar contexts. And as for the complementary skill, we will be looking at spelling written work on a range of text types with reasonable accuracy. So basically, we are going to look at speaking, and the complementary skill will be the writing skill. So whereas the learning objective for today's lesson will be using formal register to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of visiting certain places or carrying out certain activities. So the pupils are going to carry out a lot of speaking activities in today's lesson. And also another learning objective that we are going to look at today would be write a short recommendation using formal register with accurate spelling. So that would be our learning objectives today.
Wow, sounds pretty exciting. Shall we begin?
Yes, we shall. All right. So now, girls, I have a question for you here. Now, if you are given an opportunity to recommend a place or an activity for a school trip, what would you suggest and why? Now, who would like to go first? Can you put up your hand? All right, Alia, well done. Okay, Alia.
A place that I would recommend is the Penang Art Street. I believe that by physically showing people art will make them understand and appreciate art better.
Well, very well. Okay, very good. Okay, you have explained about the Penang Art Street. Okay, many people, I'm sure in Malaysia, love to visit Penang Art Street, right? Okay, who would like to go next? Okay, yeah, Shani?
I would suggest hiking because we're able to explore nature together and it's fun for students who are outgoing.
Okay, well done, Shayani. And who would like to suggest any other place? Okay, yeah, Shri?
I think I will suggest an aquarium to be visited because it's a unique experience for both adults and children, and we get to know more about aquatic creatures such as sharks and stingrays.
Good, well done. And the last one, Lishrina.
I choose to go to Rainbow Skywalk in Penang. This allows us to enjoy the dazzling cityscape of Penang as high as 68 floors up in the air.
Okay, so you all have a place that in mind that you would like to recommend for a school trip. But I have 4 places here. So if you see, there are 4 places here, exploring a cave, visiting a zoo, visiting a castle, and walking in the countryside. So there are 4 places, all right? So put aside all the places that you have suggested just now. Now look at these places. Now what I want you to do is pick one place from the picture given, okay? And give me words, okay? Words that show the advantage and another word that shows the disadvantage of these places, all right? So I'm sure you can think very fast. So who would like to go first? All right, Sri Janani.
I choose walk in the countryside. As for an advantage, I choose the word breathtaking scenery. And for a disadvantage, I choose tiring.
Good, okay, breathtaking scenery. All right, we will look at it more in detail later. Anybody else would like to suggest any other places? Okay, Alia?
I choose to visit the zoo because the advantage is educational and the disadvantage is it's boring.
Okay, boring. Okay, what about Lishrina?
I choose exploring a cave. As for the advantage, I choose the word adventurous and dangerous for disadvantage.
Aha, okay, thanks Lishrina. And we only left with Shayani.
For the castle, I thought of the word knowledgeable for the advantage and scary for the disadvantage.
Okay, very well. Well done. All of you have given the word level words to describe these places, and you have already shown with your words the advantages and disadvantages. Now, Sean, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, which place from these 4 pictures would you choose?
I would actually choose exploring a cave.
Wow, exploring a cave. That could be pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yes, there is a cave I've been to in Sarawak, in Kuching, called the Fairy Cave, and it was breathtaking. It was simply amazing. Because of how the scenery looked like, it looked really nice. So that was the main advantage of the place.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you for explaining to us the way on how we can look at exploring a cave. Okay, or what are the advantages that you can find in a cave. Very well done, Sean.
Thank you.
Girls, well done to you too on identifying the words that you can think of in a very short time on the advantages and disadvantages of these places. All right, thank you.
All right, but I have a question for you, Mr. Mohana.
Yes.
Among all these places, based on what the pupils have given so far in terms of advantage and disadvantages, which would be the choice that you would go for?
I would go for a walk in the countryside because that takes less effort.
Less effort, yeah. But even though it's a countryside, you may have to walk a slightly further distance, but that's okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay for me because I could decide the pace I want to walk, whether I want to walk fast or I want to walk slow. And at the same time, I can enjoy beautiful sceneries and take pictures.
That's actually
Right?
a very interesting take. I didn't think about that actually. But I have an additional question to that. What would be your least favorite choice among these four?
That would be exploring a cave.
And why is that?
Because I don't like dark places.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure there are a lot of eerie creatures in a cave that scares me, so probably I avoid going to a cave.
I think that's also a very good point. Probably I'll try to avoid that as well, but you never know. Maybe different people have their own opinions regarding that. But before we continue, let's take a short break. Back to you after this on Upper Form on DidikTV KPM.
DidikTV KPM.
And we are back for Upper Form on DidikTV KPM together with me, Sean Stephen. We also have Mr. Mohana as well as Teacher Lina as our sign language interpreter. All right, so shall we continue?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
All right, now we are going to talk about advantages and disadvantages. So here is your task, girls. Your principal has asked you to discuss with your friends and choose a place for the school trip next month. Discuss and decide a place that you would recommend. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to engage in a short discussion. And remember, every idea that you put in, Sean will be giving you a reward, okay? You can see a reward chart there. So Sean will be giving you the rewards, okay, in the shape of heart. So let us see how many of you are going to earn this reward. All right? So before you go ahead with the discussion, now here are a few examples on how you can discuss the advantages or explain the advantages and disadvantages to your friends. Okay, first let us look at the first example. I believe going on a bus tour around the town would be a good idea because it gives us opportunity to learn and explore. Now, keep in mind that when you are talking about an advantage of a place that you have chosen, remember to focus on the good thing of that particular place. Do not take the disadvantages of other places to highlight as your advantage of the place that you want to go. I'm sure if you have selected a place as a place that you want to go and it has a lot of advantages, you can pick a lot of good things to explain. So that is what I've shown you in the first sentence. And the second one, some pupils may find mountain biking through the woods to be challenging and energizing. They could enjoy the fresh air too. All right, so if you see in the second sentence, mountain biking in the woods, I have given you two words to show the advantage of this place, challenging and energizing. So this is what you can think of, okay? You can think of adjectives or adverbs that can add into the idea of your advantage. And the next one, and if you are going to describe the disadvantages or explain the disadvantages of a place to your friend, what you can do is, let us look at the example. Pupils are not interested in bird watching as they do not appreciate the idea of waiting. They prefer to do more energetic and entertaining activities. Okay, so this is where I have given you an example on describing the disadvantage of a place or explaining the disadvantage of a place. Now, keeping this in mind, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to talk about advantages and disadvantages. But before that, let us look at the starters. Now, I know you all love to use the phrase, in my opinion, okay? It's a very general phrase, but there are many other phrases that you can use. For example, the one I have shown on the slides here. I believe, I think, I don't think, I agree with you. Or you can also say, I agree with you to a certain extent, which means you agree to your friend's idea to some point, but there are things that you do not agree with as well. All right? Okay, and another one, in my opinion, or you can just say, I feel that, or I would prefer. So these are some examples of starters that you can use. Now, moving on to our task. So let's speak. Okay, let's speak on these 4 pictures. Okay, exploring a cave, visit a zoo, visiting a castle, and walk in the countryside. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to take turn to speak and share examples and also advantages and disadvantages of these places with your friends. And your friends are going to respond to you appropriately. So, to get started with this task, who would like to go first? Okay, Alia, you are always the first one to start off with our activity. Okay, Alia, get started.
In my opinion, visiting the zoo will be very beneficial to the students as they get to educate themselves about different and rare species of animals. So what do you think, Lishrina?
Okay, well done, Alia. You have started with the cue in my opinion. And you have also stated your opinion on visiting zoo, which is very interesting. And the best thing is you wanted to engage your friend in the conversation by asking, what do you think, Lishrina? So don't you think, Sean, we should give her a heart?
Yes, well done, Lishrina. So I'm just going to put it here.
No, it's for Alia.
Oh, sorry. Alia, my mistake. There we go.
Okay,
Alia.
well done, Alia. Okay, now, Lishrina, it's your turn.
I agree with you that going to the zoo might be beneficial for some students, but there could be students who have empathy for these animals that are held captive. In my opinion, exploring a cave might be a better idea. I feel that young students like us enjoy adventurous activities. I believe it also won't be dangerous for the students as there will be a person guiding them in front. What about you, Sri?
All right, okay. Thank you, Lishrina. Good that you acknowledge your friend's opinion. You agree with her opinion, but you disagree in a way saying that there might be some people who do not like going to the zoo. And you added your opinion into the idea by adding the advantages of visiting a cave. Okay, well done, Lishrina. And you get a heart as well.
Well done. Here you go.
Okay, so Lishrina passed the baton to Shri. Okay, Shri, it's you now.
I don't think that exploring a cave is not that much advisable because it's too risky and it's very hard to rescue the people from the underground. So a big no from me. I think walking in the countryside would be the best choice because students get to explore and admire the landscape, the breathtaking landscape such as hills, forests and huge meadows. So I think it would be a great choice.
Okay, good. Shri, you have given us a lot of information on the advantages of visiting a countryside compared to going to a cave. Okay, you have given more than one advantages. Okay, that is very good. Okay, well done. And for giving us more advantages, you are getting a heart as well.
Congratulations, bravo. Here we go.
Okay, Sean is giving you all the hearts he has there. All right. Okay, so next would be Shayani. Yeah.
Well, I do not think that walking in the countryside sounds that fun. It may be boring to some students as the countryside may seem dull to them. I think that visiting a castle will let us gain valuable information. Revisiting historical buildings are way more interesting than learning history in class.
Okay, so you just gave us an idea of how to learn history, right? By visiting historical places like visiting a castle. Okay, well done, Shayani. All right, so should we give her a heart as well?
Yes, we should. Excellent job.
All right, so all of you have gotten a heart for the first part of the speaking task. Now, we are going to move to the next part now. You are going to decide which place is the best place to visit for the upcoming school trip. So for this part, I'm not going to interfere in your conversation. I want you to start the conversation, discuss, and decide which will be the best place to visit at the end of the day from the 4 places. All right, so are you ready? If you are ready, can I see thumbs up? Okay, well done. Okay, so who would like to go first? Okay, yeah, Lishrina.
After listening to everyone's opinion, I think that visiting a castle is the most suitable place to go because we get to see historical site in person rather than just learning it through a textbook. What do you think, Alia?
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Lishrina. We do get to learn history in a really fun way by seeing them by ourselves. So, let me know what you think, Sri.
Well, visiting a castle, it seems more exciting and interesting than walking in the countryside. So I think we should visit a castle. What about you, Shani?
Just like I said earlier, there's no better way to learn history than visiting a castle. So it is all decided, and we can conclude that we will be going to a castle for our school trip.
All right, so you have discussed and decided on which place to visit, right? And all of you have unanimously decided that you would want to visit a castle. All right, well done, girls. Now, what are the important things that I would like to highlight here is all of you acknowledged each other well, all right, appropriately, and responding to your friend's opinion, okay, in both tasks. That was something great that you all did throughout the discussion. And you were also courteous in picking your words as to not hurt your friend's feelings when you are putting in your opinion or you are trying to point out the disadvantages that your friend has brought out. Okay, so for that, I think all of you should get a heart as well for this stuff. So, what do you think, Sean?
I think they deserve all a big heart, so I'm going to give an extra big heart over here. One for Shayani, one for Shri, one for Rina, and also for Alia as well. So because they've done a wonderful job, they all deserve a heart of this size. If I could give a bigger one, I will definitely place it on this board over here.
All right.
Yeah, so from what we have learned, maybe you could just kindly recap of what we have learned so far for this segment.
Okay, so for this segment, what we looked at was we were looking at basically how to discuss on advantages and disadvantages of places that you want to visit for a school trip. So we picked one place each, and then we talked about the advantages. Just like what I said earlier, when you want to highlight on an advantage of a place, you do not bring in the disadvantages of the other places, which all of you did very well. And students at home, you can also try this. When you are discussing the advantages of places, try to highlight the good things about these places. Okay, that would make the idea of advantages look good when you are engaging in a discussion. And when you are discussing and making a decision, you have to be courteous and respectful to all the ideas that your friends are sharing with you. And when you want to agree and disagree, you have to agree politely, like what the students just now agreed, like I agree with you to a certain extent. I agree with you. Yes, I think you have a good idea. So these are ways that you can show your agreement to your friend's statement.
Yes, I think they have done really, really well, and also from what you have mentioned, they also took into consideration of how each of their friends would have felt if they were to answer a different way. But I also have a follow-up question to what you have mentioned earlier, Mr. Mohana, when you mentioned that you would prefer a countryside. Now they have already chosen to visit a castle. Would you also be interested to visit a castle, and why?
Definitely. Visiting a castle would be an idea that I would look forward to because I feel that you can learn a lot of interesting things and things that are not mentioned in the history textbooks, like what Shayani said just now. So visiting a castle, it would be something that I would look forward to. So if they are going for a school trip visiting a castle, I would definitely follow them.
Yeah, I think so too as well. And I think also it's a very not cinematic, but have a very great scenery. And also because you are there with your friends, so it's something that you can keep in your mind forever. And right now we're going to take a short break. Back to you after this on Upper Form on DidikTV KPM.
DidikTV KPM.
And you are watching Upper Form on DidikTV KPM. The lesson for today is, of course, English for Form 4. All right, Mr. Mohana, what will we be doing for this segment?
Okay, for this segment, we are going to write a short recommendation. So, when you are suggesting a place to visit, you definitely need to write a recommendation to your principal. So, this is the task. Write a short recommendation to the school principal on the place of your choice for the upcoming school trip. Provide reasons for your choice. So, for this segment, you are going to write a short recommendation letter to your principal suggesting the place that you would like to go for the school trip based on the decisions that you have made as a group or as a class. So, before we go into the writing task, let us just look at an example. Now, this is an example of a recommendation letter to the principal. So, let us look through at this example. Dear Puan Tan, I'm writing this email on behalf of the pupils of Class 4 Science 1. I would like to inform you that we have finally decided a place that we would like to visit during our 3-day trip to Amsterdam. All right, so this is the introduction. In your recommendation, when you're writing your introduction, remember the introduction must consist of the detail of your essay, meaning to say the main idea of your letter, the purpose of your letter. So here, the purpose of the letter that I have put here is, I would like to inform you, okay? You want to inform the principal that you have decided a place to visit for the upcoming holiday. That is the first important thing that you have to take in mind when writing an introduction. And the next thing is, the next paragraph is where you talk about the place by giving advantages of the place. Let us look at this. We have unanimously agreed that exploring ancient ruins would be the best activity for us as a class during the excursion. This is because it will be a valuable experience and it would also help us to understand historical events better. So, this is the second paragraph where you explain the place that you want to go and how many people have agreed to go to that place, and also reasons. Your reasons is always comes with the advantages. I want to go to this place because you add on with the advantages of these places. Okay, so that is the second paragraph. And when you go to the third paragraph, you put a conclusion where you say, for example, we hope to get your approval for the visit soon, and may the trip turn out to be beneficial to all of us. You do not need to write a lengthy ending, all right? Just 1 or 2 sentences will do, because this is a short recommendation letter, and end your letter with thank you and yours sincerely. Now, so if you look, the entire essay has 3 paragraphs. Okay, and what we are going to do next is, we are going to write a recommendation for the place that you have selected. So when you are writing a recommendation, I do not want you to write the entire essay, but if you see the box that I have drawn in paragraph 2, I only want you to write the second paragraph of the essay. Okay, the first paragraph and the last paragraph, you can save it for your homework later. All right, so are you ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, so take a few minutes to write your essay. Meanwhile, I have a question to ask to Sean.
Oh yes, Mr. Mohana.
Okay, Sean, if you were to given an opportunity to decide on a place to go for a school excursion, so where would you like to go?
Where would I go? I would think a camping trip will be very enjoyable.
A camping trip. Okay, why would that be? Why is that you want to go to a camping trip?
Okay, because I think because being in nature, after being, every day in the city, the hustle and bustle of the city, it's good to also take some time off and enjoy nature. So walking to the camping site will also be a short journey where you get to enjoy that. And on top of that, also aside from enjoying nature, you also get to somehow reset yourself and calm yourself down and prepare yourself. It's like resetting your mobile phone, right? Sometimes it's a bit laggy and whatnot. But when you do that for yourself also, it can get you focused more after the excursion itself or after the camping trip.
Wow, okay, so you have given the advantages when you state your reasons of the places that you would want to go. For example, you said you want to go for camping, and you have already given us a whole lot of advantages in your camping trip. So have you been for a camping trip before?
Actually, I have. When I was in primary school, it was the prefects get-together, right? Annual one. So it was only just for a year. But because you mentioned about the advantages, there were also some disadvantages. Number one, of course, if I were to think of going for a camping trip now, and given the current situation now, right, I would probably kind of think as well, because there won't be any network or any Wi-Fi available. So I would definitely have to focus more on what I'll have to do around that area. That's number one. Number two, I still remember it being a little bit uncomfortable because you have to sleep in tents, and sleeping on the ground. If you don't choose a proper area, you might be sleeping on a pile of rocks. Well, not really a pile, but it won't be as comfortable as a bed itself. So I would say this will be the two main disadvantages. And aside from all the mosquitoes in the jungle, that would be basically the disadvantages.
Wow. Okay, so you have basically done the entire speaking task by giving me the advantages and disadvantages of going for a camping in the jungle, in the woods. All right, well done. Thank you. So I have to give you all the hearts on the table. Okay, well done. Okay, so girls, are you ready? All right, okay, so who would like to go first? Okay, so Alia, okay, as usual. So Alia, can you just show us your essay, your paragraph? Okay, so we can see that very clearly, but we would like you to read it out loud so that everyone can hear.
My classmates and I have made our mind that we are going to visit the zoo. We believe that this would be beneficial and educational for us so that we can learn in a really fun way.
Okay, so well done. You have done one paragraph on deciding on stating that you have unanimously decided that you want to visit a zoo. Okay, and you also have given the advantages of visiting a zoo. So you have answered the question. Okay, I'm sure if your principal reads the recommendation, she would definitely want to go to a zoo. All right, so for that, shall we give her a heart as well?
Yes, I believe she deserves it.
Yes.
One nice green heart for Alia.
All right, Alia, you got another heart from Sean. Okay, so who would like to go next? I'm sure you all are fighting for the hearts now. Okay, Lishrina. Okay, can you show your essay, Lishrina, your paragraph? Okay, I could see you have written Melisani Cave. All right, Lishrina, can you please read it out loud for us?
Okay, so we have all agreed to explore Melisani Cave. This is because many of us enjoy adventurous and challenging activities. It also allows us to escape from our busy routine.
Okay, so you have talked about allow us to escape from the busy routine, Melisani Cave. Okay, so Lishrina, where is this Melisani Cave?
It is in Greece.
Okay, it is in Greece. Hopefully we all can visit that place one day. All right? Okay, thank you, Lishrina, for introducing to us Melisani Cave. So for that, can we give Lishrina a heart?
A heart for Lishrina, of course. Here you go, and well done.
Okay, so well done, Lishrina. So Alia and Lishrina have got 3 hearts. What about the others? Okay, so we have 2 more left. Who would like to fight for the heart now? Okay, Shayani. Okay, can you show us your paragraph, Shayani? Okay, Shayani. Okay, I could see the Edinburgh Castle. All right, Shayani, can you please read out your paragraph?
Okay. We have collectively agreed to explore Edinburgh Castle. This is because we're able to explore a historical building in person. We can also appreciate the history and architecture of the castle.
All right, so you want to explore the history and architecture of the castle. Okay, that is the advantage that you have said on visiting a castle. Okay, and you particularly showed one castle in your essay. Very good. You have been very specific, and you also have been very specific on describing the advantage in your paragraph. Okay, very well done, Shayani. And for that, Shayani deserves a heart too.
That's right, a nice blue heart for you. Same color as the jacket that you have on. Oops, Shayani, up here.
Okay.
All right.
And so, Shri, would you like to fight for a heart, or you would like to keep quiet? Okay, she has turned
Yes,
on
I
her.
fight for the heart.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so this is Shri's paragraph. All right, Shri. Good. Okay, can you read it out loud, Shri?
We all have agreed that walking in the countryside would be the best activity for us. This is because we get to know more about countryside and people over there. It will also help the students to keep them calm from busy school life as they are enjoying the beautiful scenery there.
Wow, okay, so you are basically relating it to your life as a student. Visiting a countryside helps you to be calm and enjoy the nature, being away from the busy school life, right, Shri? Well done, Shri. And for highlighting that as an advantage of visiting a countryside, I think you should also get a heart. I don't have the heart to not give the heart to you. I'm sure Sean is dying to give you the heart
Yes,
as well.
I am. Well done to you. Really great job.
Okay, so for this part, okay, well done to all of you. Can all of you once again show your paragraphs? Okay, so well done. Okay, well done on coming up with this paragraph in a very short period of time. But remember, when you write a recommendation, you need to write it in 3 paragraphs. All right, yeah, you may put them down now. All right, so remember, okay, so in this part, we have looked on how to write a recommendation. Okay, and earlier, I have showed to you an example on writing a recommendation. When you write a recommendation, your recommendation can be written in 3 paragraphs. Okay, you do not need to write a full-length letter for this task because it only requires you to write a short recommendation letter to the principal suggesting a place that you have decided to go for the school holidays.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mohana. And what has happened in this segment is that we have learned how to write, well, a short recommendation letter, but focusing to the second paragraph of which we are stating why, or at least the place where we're going, or we have chosen to go, and why we have chosen that place. A very interesting thing indeed. Anything else you would like to add on, Mr. Mohana?
Students at home, if you want to write a recommendation, a short recommendation, you can refer to the samples that have shown in this lesson, and you can also follow the style that I have shown in this lesson so that your recommendation letter will turn out well.
That's right. And based on what we are showing here, we also have the explore a cave, visit a zoo, visit a castle, or walk in the countryside. So they can actually use one of these examples to write their letter, is that?
And actually there are more pictures in the textbook. So besides the 4 pictures here, you can choose the other pictures in the textbook on the page that I stated just now. So you can you can not only these 4, you can also take the other pictures from there to write your recommendation or to practice your speaking task on advantages and disadvantages.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mohana. And right now we're going to take a short break. Back to you after this on DidikTV KPM.
DidikTV KPM.
And we are back for English Form 4 on DidikTV KPM. We have Mr. Mohana as well as Teacher Lina as the sign language interpreter for our lesson today. All right, Mr. Mohana, over to you.
All right, so welcome to the enrichment practice. Okay, so for this activity, we are going to look at a conversation on advantages and disadvantages. So this is a conversation between two students. So in this, the first enrichment activity, I would like two students to read out this conversation, while the other two will be identifying the advantages and disadvantages in the conversation. So for the first enrichment activity, who would like to be pupil A and pupil B? All right, so Alia will be pupil A and Shri will be pupil B. Is that? All right, so can we start with pupil A?
I believe that visiting a castle and exploring ancient ruins would be some good ideas. It would make I believe that visiting a castle and exploring ancient ruins would be some good ideas. It would make learning about these places and the events that took, isn't it?
Yes, but I doubt that people who do not enjoy history would be interested to go such places. It may seem to be dull and unappealing to them. What about a bus tour of the town? It could be both educational and entertaining.
All right, thank you Alia and Shri for reading the task here, for reading the conversation here. Now, I would like Shayani and Lishrina to identify for me the advantages and disadvantages. So who would like to go first? Okay, Shayani, can you please tell me whether you want to identify the advantages or disadvantages?
I found an advantage where pupil A has stated it will make learning about these places and the events that took place more interesting.
Okay, so it would make learning about these places and the events that took place there more interesting. All right, so that is one advantage here. Okay, so you have identified the advantages. All right, now what about Lishrina?
As for the disadvantage, pupil B has mentioned that it may be dull and unappealing to them.
Okay, seem to be dull and unappealing to them. Okay, so that is a disadvantage that you have identified in this conversation. All right, so let us move on to enrichment activity 2. I will give your hearts at the end of this activity. All right, so for enrichment activity 2, we also need pupil A and B. So this time, we will have Lishrina and Shayani to read the conversation. Meanwhile, Shri and Alia will be identifying the advantages and disadvantages in the conversation. Okay, shall we start? Who would like to go first? Okay, Shayani.
Both mountain biking and cave exploration are adventurous, energizing, and challenging. I think pupils will find both activities enjoyable. What do you think?
I don't think that everyone would have the physical strength and fitness required to ride a mountain bike through the woods. Besides that, mountain biking is dangerous. I think exploring a cave is a safer option. It's a safer option because we will be accompanied by guides.
All right. Okay, thank you, Lishrina and Shayani. Okay, so can we have Shri and Alia to identify the advantages and disadvantages? Okay, who would like to go first? Okay, Shri, yes, Shri.
For advantage, both mountain biking and cave exploration are adventurous, energizing, and challenging.
All right. Okay, thank you, Shri. So if you look here, pupil A have stated that both mountain biking and cave exploration are adventurous, energizing, and challenging. Okay, in this statement, the pupil has given triple emphasis on talking about advantages of going mountain biking. So you can also use a triple emphasis if you are trying to emphasize on a place on its advantages. All right. Now, Alia, what did you find in this conversation, Alia?
The disadvantage that Pupil B has stated that I don't think that everyone would have the physical strength and fitness required to ride a mountain bike through the woods.
Okay, so you have stated here, I don't think that everyone would have the physical strength and fitness required to ride a mountain bike through the woods. All right, okay, so well done. Okay, so now in this activity, all of you were able to identify the advantages and disadvantages in the conversation. And for that, well done. And I think all of you deserve a heart for this.
Yes, I think so too. So shall I place it here?
Yes.
All right, so one for Shayani, one for Shri, another for Rina, and definitely one more as well for Alia. Well done to everyone. I think they did an excellent job.
Yes, well done, girls. You did an excellent job throughout the lesson.
Yes. And also, I would like to find out, just before we end our lesson for today, could you kindly recap on what we have learned so far?
All right, in today's lesson, okay, we focused on speaking skill as the main skill and the writing skill as a complementary skill. In the beginning, we start the lesson with mentioning one word related to advantage and disadvantage of a place given in the pictures. And it was also further developed into conversations or discussion among students or stating the advantages and disadvantages of these places, where they would want to go and why would they want to go there. Or if they decide not to go there, they give reasons why not. And they also engage in a discussion where they have to decide one place that they would like to go for their school trip. And that continued with writing a recommendation on the place that they have chosen as a class to the principal, recommending the place, stating the advantages of visiting these places. Okay, and from there, we moved into the enrichment activity where we looked at students' understanding of the task, whether they have understood how to explain advantage and disadvantages from the statements given in a dialogue. I think that's what we did throughout the lesson today.
Yes, a very interesting and also very insightful lesson that we had today. And of course, I would like to ask how were the pupils who are online, how was their performance for today, their overall performance?
Okay, their overall performance, they did very well. I think I can give all the staff that, all the hearts of staff that we have there for their performance today. What they did was, they fulfilled the learning objective today by speaking about the advantages and disadvantages, respond appropriately to their friends' questions and answers, and also they managed to fulfill the complementary skill where they wrote short recommendation, the important part of the recommendation, which is 2 paragraphs.
Well done, everyone. I'm going to give you all the hearts that I have here on the table to you. And also for those of you who are watching at home or for those of you who are online right now, if they want to get enhancement exercises, from where can they get it?
They can get KPM from KPM Delima My Sumberku.
All right. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Mohana, for our lesson today. Thank you to our pupils who are online today. And of course, thank you to Teacher Lina as our sign language interpreter of today. And we'll definitely see you in our next lesson. Till then, take care and stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Bye.